I love you. Will you marry me?
Yes, I love you too.
The rain poured relentlessly over the empty streets of Chicago that night, the kind of cold that seeped into your bones and made every mistake you'd ever made echo louder in your head. In a dimly lit alleyway, Luca Moretti, the infamous mafia boss feared across 3 states, stood still, staring at a photograph that had fallen from his wallet. It was a picture of his late brother, the only person who ever saw the good in him. Now, his empire stood on blood and betrayal, and for the first time in years, Luca didn't feel powerful. He felt lost. A few miles away, in a quiet diner off 5th Street, Amara Johnson wiped down the counter with the same weary rhythm she used every night. Her heart was tired, her dreams on pause. The world never gave her anything easy, yet she still found ways to smile. She didn't know that soon, fate would place something on that counter that would change her life and heal a broken man's soul. Amara found the wallet after her shift, lying half-hidden under the corner booth. The leather was fine, too fine for anyone who'd eaten at her modest diner. Inside was a thick stack of cash, a silver card engraved with Luca Moretti, and that photograph of 2 young men laughing in the sunlight. Her co-worker, Lisa, gasped. "Girl, you know who that is? That's him. The mafia boss. The man you don't mess with." Amara looked at the wallet again. "Then all the more reason to return it," she whispered. But that night, she couldn't sleep. Her heart argued with her logic. Why help someone like him? A man like that didn't lose things by accident. And yet, there was something haunting in that photograph. A glimpse of humanity. Pain, even. The next morning, she found herself standing before a marble building guarded by men in black suits. Her knees trembled as she asked to speak to Luca Moretti. When Luca appeared, he looked nothing like the monster she imagined. His presence was powerful, yes, but his eyes, they carried a storm. "You found this?" he asked, taking the wallet. "Yes," she said softly. "I thought you might need it." He stared at her longer than necessary. "Most people would have taken the money. I've had enough bad luck. Don't need to add guilt to it." That answer, so pure, so simple, pierced through the armor he'd built for years. For the first time in a long time, Luca felt seen. That night, he couldn't stop thinking about her. About how her honesty felt like sunlight after years of shadow. Yet he pushed the thought away, convincing himself it meant nothing. He was a man too far gone to be touched by something good. But denial is fragile when your soul craves redemption. Days turned into weeks, and Luca kept returning to that diner. Sometimes he ordered coffee he never drank, just to see her. Sometimes, he sat in silence and watched her laugh with customers. Her warmth softened the edges of the world around her. Amara was cautious at first. She'd seen his kind, powerful men who thought they could buy goodness. But Luca never asked for anything. He listened. He even helped her fix the diner's leaky roof one night when the rain came through. "You don't look like a man who fixes roofs," she teased. "Maybe I'm trying to learn," he said quietly. And little by little, his world began to shift. He started questioning everything. His business, his choices, his loyalty to men who'd kill for him but never feel for him. One evening, he confessed, "I built an empire out of fear, Amara. But when I see you, I wonder what I could have built with love." She looked into his eyes, and for the first time, saw not the mafia boss, but a man who'd been bleeding inside for years. But healing isn't linear. When Luca tried to step away from his empire, his own men turned on him. Betrayal struck again. Violence, chaos, and loss followed him like shadows. Amara found herself praying for a man who'd done terrible things, because she saw something sacred in his fight for redemption. One night, he showed up at her door, bruised, bleeding, but alive. "I tried to walk away," he said. "But it's not that easy." Amara placed her hand on his chest. "Then don't run alone." That moment, 2 souls holding each other in the wreckage, became the quiet beginning of something neither had expected. Months passed. Luca left Chicago behind. He sold everything. His clubs, his cars, his mansions. The empire he'd built on pain no longer had a place in the man he was becoming. He and Amara moved to a small town by the sea, where no one knew his name. The first time he saw her laugh freely under the sunlight, he realized this was the life he'd been searching for all along. But healing came with guilt. Some nights, he'd wake up sweating, haunted by faces of men he'd wronged. Amara never lectured him. She just held his hand and whispered, You can't rewrite the past, but you can live the truth now. So he did. He started volunteering at a community center, mentoring kids who'd grown up in violent neighborhoods, the kind that made men like him. Amara opened her own small cafe, where people said the coffee tasted like hope. Years later, they stood together at their wedding by the ocean. No guards, no money, just two souls who'd chosen love over power, peace over pride. When the priest said, "Do you take this woman?" Luca's voice broke as he answered, "I already did, the day she handed me back my wallet and gave me my soul instead." Moral of the story: no soul is beyond redemption. Healing doesn't come from running from your past. It comes from facing it, forgiving yourself, and letting love teach you how to begin again.